Ramya. Surya ma'am, take it from
Yeah.
here.
Good evening, my dear friends. Now, this one act play, Refund, is dependent on the improbable situation of a student demanding his tuition fee. Refund is a beautiful one act play. It is a story of a former student, Wasserkopf. After an interval of 18 years, he comes back to school to get his tuition fee. This his old classmate Lederer advised him to go to school and get back his tuition fees. The play is wit and unity, and it is a beautiful one act play. This is what I wanted to just introduce the play, sir.
Thank you, Surya ma'am. The principal is seated at his flat-top desk in his office in a high school. Enter a servant.
Well, what is it?
A man, sir, outside. He wants to see you.
I receive parents only during office hours. The particular office hours are posted on the notice board. Tell him that.
Yes, sir, sure, but it isn't parents, sir.
A pupil.
I don't think so. I think he has a beard.
Not a parent, not a pupil. Then what is he?
He told me I should just call him Wasserkopf.
What does he look like? Stupid? Intelligent?
Fairly intelligent, I'd say, sir.
Good. Then he's not a school inspector. Show him in.
Yes, sir.
The servant goes off. An instant later, the door reopens to admit a bearded man, carelessly dressed, somewhat under 40. He is energetic and decided.
How do you do?
What can I do for you?
I'm Vasekov. Do you remember me?
No.
It's possible. I've changed. What the hell? Your class records will show I've got a right to come here.
The class records? How so?
Mr. Principal, if you please, I'm Vasekov.
Doubtless, doubtless. But what has that to do with it?
You mean to say you don't even remember my name? No, I mean, I imagine you won't. You're probably glad to forget me. Well, Mr. Principal, I was a student in the school 18 years ago.
Oh, were you? Well, what do you want now? A certificate?
Since I'm bringing back the leaving certificate you gave me, I suppose I can get along without another one. No, that's not why I came here.
Well,
As a formal pupil of the school, I want you to refund the tuition fees, which were paid you for my education 18 years ago.
you want me to refund your tuition fees.
Exactly, that tuition fees. If I were a rich man, uh, I'd tell you to keep them as far as I'm not concerned. What the hell? But I'm not a rich man and I need the money.
I'm not sure I understand.
Damn, damn it. I want my tuition fees back. Is that plain enough?
But why do you want it back?
Because I did not get my money's worth. That's why. This certificate here says I got an education. Well, I did not. I did not learn anything. I want my money back.
But look here. I don't understand it at all. I've never heard of anything like it. What an absurd idea.
Absurd, is it? It's a good idea. It's such a good idea that I did not get it out of my own head thanks to the education you got here, which made nothing but the incompetent ass out of me. My old classmate Lederer gave me the idea not half an hour ago.
Gave it to you.
Like that. Here I was, walking along the street, fired from my last job and wondering how I could get hold of some cash because I was quite broke. I met Lederer. I said, "How goes it, Lederer?" Fine, he says. I've got to hurry to the brokers to collect the money I've made speculating in foreign exchange. I said, what's foreign exchange? He said, I've got the time to tell you now, but according to the paper, Hungarian money is down 70 points and I've made the difference. Do you understand? Well, I did not understand. I said, how can you make money if money goes down? And he says, Wasserkov, if you don't know that you don't know a damn thing, go to your school and get your tuition fees back. Then, then he hurried away and left me standing there. And I said to myself, why shouldn't I do that? He's right. Now that I have thought it over, so I came here as fast as I can, and I shall be much obliged if you give me my tuition fees back because they they amount to a lot of money, and I did not get anything from that.
Really, but now see here. We've never had a request like yours before. Letter told you
He's a good friend, letterer. He told me, and when I get my money back, I'm going to buy him a present.
you're not really serious, are you?
I was never more serious in my life. Treat me wrong here, and I'll go straight to the Ministry of Education and complain about you. You took my money and you taught me nothing. Now I'm no good for anything and I can't do things I should have learned in school.
You're mad. My dear sir, Her Vasakov, please go away quietly. I'll think the matter over after you've gone.
No, no, you don't get rid of me so easily. I'll go when everything's been settled. I was given instruction here in exchange for money so that I might be able to do something. But I can't do anything because I was taught so badly, and anybody can see I ought to have my money back.
What makes you think you can't do anything?
Everybody thinks so. If I get a job, I can't keep it. Give me an examination and tell me what I ought to do. Call in the masters and let them say.
What a distressing business. How unfortunate. You really want to take another examination?
Yes, I have the right to take one.
What an unusual case. I've never heard of anything like it before. Uh, I shall have a consult with the staff. I shall have to call a conference. Will you wait in the waiting room and give me a few minutes?
Yes, but be quick. I've got no time to waste.
Ask the staff to come here at once. At a most extraordinary conference.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, I have asked you to come here on account of a most unusual state of affairs. It is unprecedented. In the 30 years that I have been a schoolmaster, I have heard of nothing like it. Never so long as I shall live shall I expect to hear anything like it again. Never, God forbid. Gentlemen, I have asked you to come here on account of a most unusual state of affairs. Sit down, gentlemen. I shall open the conference. It is unprecedented, incredible, fantastic. A former pupil just came to see me, an individual named Vasakov. He brought up questions which I never have encountered in my many years of experience. I had never heard of anything like it.
Tell us about it. Why?
Because he's lost his job, because he's broke, because he's an ass. I should be glad to have you express your views on this unparalleled case.
Gentlemen, the case is natural. The law of the conservation of energy proves that any given pupil will lose in any given period as much knowledge as a teacher can drill into his head in another period of like duration.
There is nothing like it in the history of civilization. It is said that the Bourbons learned nothing and forgot nothing, if that is true.
The law of conservation of energy.
The question is, does he want the amount with simple or compound interest? Because in the later event,
Where is the fellow, anyhow?
He's waiting outside. He wants to be re examined. He says he learned nothing. He says a re examination will prove it. I'd like to know what you gentlemen think about it.
A re examination? Gentlemen, it is my conviction that we shall lose nothing by re examining Vasakov. If he fails, he will place us in an awkward position. Therefore, he must not fail. He has, shall I say, pursued advanced studies in the school of life. He will not make our questions too difficult. Agree, gentlemen? We are dealing with a sly, crafty individual who will try to get the better of us and his money back by hook or crook. We must checkmate him.
How?
By sticking together. The object is to prevent him from failing because if he fails, he succeeds. That we must stop. If he fails, tomorrow there will be two other former pupils and the next day a dozen. We must back each other up, gentlemen, so that this painful affair does not become a pedagogical scandal. We will ask him questions. Whatever his answers, we agree beforehand that they are correct.
Who will decide?
If you permit me, Mr. Principal, let us proceed with the examination. We will show the former pupil that we too can be shrewd.
Isn't there a chance of something going wrong? Suppose it gets into the newspapers?
Just leave it to us.
Show in her Rasukov.
Okay, we will have the first break here. Good start, I believe, and we will have a brief comments from Dr. Surya Kaladar and Dr. Rizia, and then after that we'll resume Unit 3. Surya ma'am?
Yeah. Do you want me to give the summary or my remarks?
No, only brief remarks, not the summary.
Okay.
Summary at the end, please. Yeah.
Okay. Now, this play is a satire, but an intelligent critique of the present education system. The education system does not teach life skills, does not teach any values, which shows the behavior of the ex-student with the teacher is an example. It just focuses on passing the examination, which is not good enough to get a decent job. The schools are happy to announce a good pass percentage of the students and will go to any extent to ensure that their students pass the examination. Very often, the schools oblige influential persons like donors, politicians, government officials, etc., and pass their children even if they are fare poorly in their examination. They go out of their wing to give a meaning to every absurd answer such students give in the examination. Just to pass them and oblige the influential persons, it generally happens in Viva examination. Such students are arrogant and almost challenges the teachers. To fail them, the analogy, the type of answers given to the different questions asked. The students cannot take responsibility for their own lives, getting decent jobs, etc., but blame others. In this case, the ex-student blame others and the ex-student blames the school for his own failures. The concluding part depicts the behavior of the authorities when they are questioned by a student. Such type of behavior can be seen by many school authorities when they are questioned. The play highlights the need to reform the education system, which needs to focus on the all-round development of the student, not just academics alone. Need to also aim at improving the skills, employment-oriented skills, value systems, etc. This is what is my perspective about the play.
Thank you. Brief comments, Dr. Rizia.
Mm, I agree with most of what Suryalan said that what has. I'll just like to add something to it because the main refund is there that it is. We'll go into that later on, but it is also based on the commercialization of education. Yes, education system does not exactly teach us life skills. We go out of educational institutions with hardly any idea of what we are going to do in our lives. But progress, I feel that is one part of it. The other part of it, why I'll go after we finish with the play reading, I'll tell a short story associated with it.
All right.
Probably
Okay.
that short video was made from this, so we'll go on there. But for present, I will say that refund is also associated with commercialization of it.
Thank you,
So
Dr.
I can
Rizia.
move on to it.
Okay, we'll move on to unit 3 now. He enters, Vasakov enters without waiting to be shown in. He is most truculent. His hat is over 1 year. He greets nobody. He keeps his hands thrust into his pockets and stares insolently. The staff is bowling heartily to him.
How do you do?
How do you do?
How do you?
Who the hell are you? Sit down, you loafers.
How dare you?
Please, sit down, you loafers. My dear sir, the greeting you have just given us shows that you understand the patriarchal manners which we impress upon everybody in this institution. Exactly as in the days of the medieval humanists, teachers and pupils meet here on a footing of perfect equality. You have shown us in the most tactful way that you approve of our customs. That is good of you. And I'm sure my colleagues will agree that the pupil Vasakov, who appears before us for re examination, need not be examined in that appertains to gentlemanliness. Instead, we waive examination in that subject and mark him excellent.
Quite right, quite right. Manners? Excellent.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Great.
Agreed.
All right, if you say so. What the hell? I don't give a damn for the lot of you. My being gentlemanly isn't going me to pass this examination. Let me fail as quickly as possible and give me my money back. Everything else is just damned nonsense.
Speaking for the staff, we agree with you. Your exquisite courtesy will not affect us one way or the other. We will examine you and we will be guided entirely by your replies to our questions. Take notice of that.
All right, carry on. Let's hear the questions. I need money. Got it. Ask me questions. Professors, I mean, long eared asses. I'd like to see you get a single correct answer out of me.
The examination will begin. History, Herr Scheffler.
Herr Vaskov, won't you be seated?
To hell with a seat. I'll stand.
Hmm.
Bravo, excellent. Herr Vasakov wishes us to understand two things. He will dispense with a formal written examination and answer orally. Good. He will not be seated, he will stand. Also good. It follows that his physical condition is splendid, and I take it upon myself to award him an excellent in physical culture. I ask the principal who teaches that subject to concur.
Quite right. Physical culture. Excellent.
Agreed.
Great.
Agreed.
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 No! You got me once, didn't you? Well, you won't do it again. From now on, I'll have my ears open.
Alertness. Very good.
Perseverance, unusual.
Logic, excellent.
Get on with your questions.
Ambition, boundless.
Yes, yes, just a minute.
What's the matter, Scruffler? Aren't you prepared?
A moment.
Oh, you can't think of a question that's easy enough. You are always a numbskull.
Candidate, answer this question. How long did the 30 years war last?
The, I mean to say, I don't know.
Please answer my question. I'm sure you know. Give me an answer. Well, well,
Mr. Principal, this is no way to run an examination. This fellow is trying to make me cheat.
I shall deal with this decisively. Go away.
How long did the 30 years war last? Was that the question?
yes, yes, exactly.
I know. Exactly 7 meters. 7 meters. I know it lasted that long. It's possible I'm wrong and I fail. 7 meters. 7 meters long. 7 meters. Please give me my tuition fees back.
7 meters. Right. Your answer is excellent.
What? What did you say?
The answer is correct. As a matter of fact, the candidate has shown us that his thought process are not merely superficial and that he has investigated the subject in accordance with the modern researchers based on based on based on
Relativity, of course, the quantum theory, Planck, Einstein. It's all very simple. To the history master, don't say another word, sir. We understand perfectly. Einstein has taught us that time is as real as space and matter. It consists of atoms, may be synthesized into a unified whole, and may be measured like anything else. Reduce the mass system to a unit, and a year may be represented by a meter or 7 years by 7 meters. We may even assert that the 30 years war lasted 7 years only because, because,
because actual warfare took place only during half of each day, that is to say 12 hours out of 24, and the 30 years at once becomes 15, but not even 15 years were given up to incessant fighting, for the combatants had to eat 3 hours a day, reduce our 15 years to 12, and if from this we deduct the hours given up to noonday siestas to peaceful diversions to non-warlike activities.
to social distractions, we have left only the time which the candidate has represented by the Einsteinian equivalent of 7 meters. Correct? I take it upon myself, gentlemen, to propose a grading of very good in history.
Hey,
Excellent.
Bravo! Excellent.
hey,
Well,
Excellent. It's
excellent.
passed.
It's
Excellent.
passed.
hey. But I don't see.
That ends the examination in history.
Uh,
History. Very good. Now the examination in physics.
uh,
The physics
no,
master takes the place of the history master.
now we'll see something. You tricksters.
Come, come.
Well, what's going to happen? Ask your questions or don't. I haven't got any more time to waste. Oh, now I remember you. Do you know what we used to call you behind your back? We called you the cannibal because you are always chewing your thumb, just as doing right now. That's what we used to call you. Oh, by the way, do you remember the day you tripped and fell flat in the aisle? Do you know who tied the string across the desk, across from desk to desk? So you do that. I did.
You?
Don't get excited, little man. Ask me a hard question instead. Plow me.
Kind of you. Very kind of you. And now Tell me, Herr Vasakov, do clocks in church steeples really become smaller as you walk away from them? Or do they merely appear to become smaller because of an optical illusion?
What the rot? How should I know? Whenever I walk away from clocks, they get larger, invariably. If I were if I want them to get smaller, I turn around and walk right up to them. And then they are not small at all.
In a word, therefore, in a word,
In a word, therefore, you give me a pain in the neck. You are an ass. That's my answer.
is that your answer? Good, it is correct. A difficult answer, but a most brilliant one.
Huh?
I'll explain. That is to say, I'll explain. When we talk of the ass, we
Yes.
always notice
Yes.
Yes,
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 Yes.
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 that his look is sad. Therefore, I have got it. I
What
have
have you
got
got?
it.
What have you got, you whiskered baboon?
I have got it, and the answer is right.
Huh?
Why is the look of the ass so sad? Why, in general, are all of us usually so sad? Because we are all the victims of illusion. But what illusions can affect the extremely primitive apperceptive powers of an ass? Obviously, the illusions of the senses. For the ass lacks imagination, and these must be none other than optical illusions. Since the ass, like us, observes that objects appear to become smaller as he moves away from them, the candidate has given us a most excellent answer in calling our attention to an animal whose expression is melancholy because its senses are deceptive. Or, to put it in another way, because the apparent decrease in size of an object, in this case a clock, is to be ascribed to optical illusion. The answer was correct.
Huh?
I certify, therefore, that the candidate may be given very good in physics.
Huh? Hey!
It's like very good.
Bravo.
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 Bravo!
No!
Bravo.
I protest!
The examination in geography.
The geography master takes the place facing Vasakov.
I protest. Just look at you. Just look at him, the old hypocrite. How are you, anyhow? Nitwit,
I beg your pardon?
my name used to be in your class book, didn't it? You old reprobate. You just wait. I'll fix you all right.
Tell me, candidate.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Oh, how is it to hate you 18 years ago?
Please tell me, what city of the same name is the capital of the German province of Brunswick?
What dumb question. The answer's part of the question.
Isn't it? And the answer, what is it?
Same, of course. That's the answer. And the name of the city is the same. Then the say name of the city is same, right? If if it isn't, I fail, and you refund my tuition fees.
Answer is correct. The name of the city is same. Gentlemen, the candidate shows exceptional knowledge of the history of the city of Brunswick. There is a legend that once, as the Emperor Barbarossa was riding on the city, he met a young peasant girl who was munching a bun and whose mouth was so full. He called out to her, God bless you, what's the name of the city? And the peasant girl answered, Same to you, sir. Then he stopped because her mouth was full. And the empress laughed and said, Ho ho,
So the name of the city is same. And for many years thereafter, he never referred to Brunswick except by that title. The answer is excellent. The candidate is entitled to a grade of excellent in geography.
What?
The geography master returns to his place to be showered with congratulations.
Geography. Excellent. Thus far, the candidate has come through with flying colors. Only the examination in mathematics is left. Should he pass that, he will have passed the entire examination.
I'm going to be more careful now.
The mathematics master takes his place facing Vasarkov. The other masters are much worried, but the mathematics master assures them with a gesture that they may depend on him.
So, here you are, old stick in the mud. Do you know who used to call you old stick in the mud behind your back? You'd better brush up your wits. If you think you are going to pull one over on me, I'll start off by telling you a few things about mathematics. 2 times 2 is 5. And I make up my own multiplication tables as I go along. And if you add 8 apples and 2 pears, the answer is 27 apricots. That's my system. And you'll see. You'll see me use it. To the hell with mathematics. Answer excellent. Answer very good. Answer correct. Not this time. It will be simpler if you say you aren't prepared.
You
And
must not
let
joke
me
about a
say,
serious examination. I'm going to ask you two questions. One of them is easy, the other is hard.
one of them is easy, the other is hard. The same old stick in the mud that you others were. I remember the picture of you we used to draw on the board.
If this were an examination in art, you would be marked excellent. But we are dealing with mathematics. The easy question is, if we represent the speed of light by x and the distance of the star Sirius from the sun by y, what is the circumference of a 109-sided regular polyhedron whose surface area coincides with that of the hip pocket of a state railway employee whose wife has been deceiving him for 2 years and 11 months with a regimental sergeant major of hussars?
But look here, Professor.
Professor!
Professor, don't interfere with him. Will you repeat the question?
No, either you paid attention or you did not. Either you know the answer or you don't. Tell me the answer, because if you don't know it,
Hey, of course I know it. Naturally, I know it. I'll tell you. 2,690 liters. Exact. No fractions. And now, did I give you the correct answer? I have given you an answer which is too good.
no, the answer is wrong. The correct answer is 2,628 liters and not 29. Principal, I refuse to pass the candidate. Mark him a failure.
I told you so. I told you so.
Professor!
I
Professor!
told you so.
I'm sorry. It is true that his error amounted to less than a tenth of a percent in the total, but it was an error. He fails.
My tuition fees. My tuition fees. My tuition fees.
In my
My tuition
opinion,
fees.
the candidate's request is reasonable. Now that I have satisfied myself he cannot pass the examination, it is his right to recover the monies which were paid to us.
That's so. That's right. Give my money.
Is that what you think? Is that what you think, Professor?
Absolutely. This is a good school. It is our duty to see that nothing ever injures its reputation. How much do we owe you, Herr Vasakov?
I'll tell you. I attended this school for 6 years in all. During the first 3 years, the fees was 150 crowns quarterly. Total for 3 years, it's 1,800. During the second year, the fees was 400 crowns semi-annually. Total 2,400. During the second 3 years, the fees was 400 crowns semi-annual. Total 4,000. Yeah, I told you that. 1,800. So 2,400 plus 1,800 is 4,200. Examination fees 240 crowns, 95 heller. Certificates, documents, books. Uh, Stamp taxes 1,241 crowns, 43 hellers. Total is 5,682 crowns, 38 heller. Incidentals, stationery, notebooks, 768 crowns, 12 heller. Grand total is uh, uh, 6,440 crowns, 50 heller. Knock out the hellers and crowns, call it crowns.
Hmm, exactly.
Exactly. You can rely on it.
It's right. There's no question of it. It's right to the smallest detail. I congratulate you. That
Thanks.
was my difficult question.
What?
Principal, I certify that the candidate passes in mathematics. His answer to the easy question was a very little out of the way, but his answer to the difficult question, how much the refund should be, was exactly correct. Herr Vasakov is really a mathematical genius.
So you pull one over me?
Gentlemen, I present the results of the examination. Vasakov has passed with distinction in every subject and has again shown that he is entitled to the certificate we awarded him on his graduation. Vasakov, we offer our congratulations, accepting a large share of them for ourselves for having taught you so excellently. And now that we
Huh?
have verified your knowledge and your abilities, get out before I have you thrown out.
Hey, what?
So I'm a numbskull, huh? Am I? Say it again and I'll show you what's what.
I'm a hypocrite, nitwit, ass, me.
Old stick in the mud?
Yes, sir.
Remove that object.
The servant seizes Vasakov by the collar and the seat of his trousers and rushes him off. The principal turns to the staff and beams.
Thank you, gentlemen, for your magnificent cooperation. In the future, it will be our proudest boast that in this school, a pupil simply cannot fail.
Curtains. Nice, nice. Well done. Well done. That's very good.
Yeah.
So I think it went smooth. Good. All good. Good job, all of you. Um, First, we'll give uh, a closing summary by uh, Dr. Surya Kaladar. Surya ma'am. Surya ma'am.
Yeah, yeah.
First
Now
you,
I'll
then
just
Doctor.
give the
Yeah, yeah.
summary.
Summary.
Yeah.
First you, then Dr. Izia. Yeah, go ahead,
Oh,
please.
no. Wasserkov, a former student, unexpectedly returns to his old school. He had gone there nearly 18 years back. He enters the principal's room with arrogance and tells the principal his name, gives negative responses to the principal's questions. He informs him about his failures in life and demands a refund of his tuition fee and says he has not got the proper knowledge worth his fees, so he demands a refund of his fees. The principal asks him to wait and convenes an emergency meeting of the masters and had a serious discussion about the issue. The masters decided to give him the test and ask him simple questions and assist one another by declaring his incorrect answers as correct. Wasserkopf confronts each teacher one at a time. To irritate them, he calls them as loafers. His history professor asks him a simple question: how long was the 30 Years' War? He answers incorrectly as 7 meters long. Through their reasoning, both the history and mathematics masters prove his answer correct. The physics master then asks him a simple question about optical illusions. In response, the Vasudeva refers to the masters as asses. However, his answer was declared correct. The geography teacher asks him a simple question about the capital city of Brunswick, a German province. The answer, according to Wasserkopf, is same. It is claimed by the masters to be correct answer. The mathematics master then asks meaningless question about the circumference of a polyhedron with 109-degree sides. Even the data used in the calculation is meaningless. According to Wasserkopf, the answer is 2629 meters. The master becomes enraged when he realizes his answer to a simple question is incorrect. The master then instructs Wasserkopf to calculate the amount of fee to be refunded. He described it as a difficult question. Wasserkopf computes the total and provides an exact answer. Each teacher questions him and justifies his incorrect answers and uses abusive language towards each master. They do not show their displeasure because they must prove to him to be an excellent student to expel him. Finally, his masters declare him excellent and expel him from his school. This is what the summary I wanted to give.
Okay. Over to you, Dr. Izia, for the analysis.
Okay, Surya gave a very succinct analysis. So move on to two important aspects. As I said, it is commercialization of education, and at the same time, if you look at it, because this is while you're reading the play or while I was reading the play, there are various thoughts going on in my mind. One is the apparent disrespect of the teachers, and this is something that we often face day in and day out. The other thing is that how the deterioration of the examination system is taken place, or rather, the education system has taken place, to the effect that our main concern as teachers is not that the student gets some knowledge. Our main concern as students is because at the end the principal says this is a school in which no student fails. So our main concern is that that figure, we have a pass percentage of 99% or 98% pass percentage, and our main concern is that students should pass. Whether we are really concerned about the education or not is a different matter altogether. And I'm telling this from experience. What has happened is that uh, earlier, when we were students, with English literature especially, I don't know about other states, but in Assam, actually, if you are pursuing a BA or an MA in English literature, people hardly used to get first classes. It was very, very difficult to get a first class in BA or MA in English literature because, literature, not necessarily only English, when all the literature subjects, people did not get first classes. Then it was very difficult to get a first class. With the coming of the RTI, suddenly the whole, thing changed as the idea gained prominence. I'm telling this is a true story. True story that is actually pertaining my own college. That after I joined the college 1 or 2 years later or somewhere around that, when the results came out, you know, I just asked the students, what result did you get? And surprisingly, we had a very around 45 students or so in the honors class. 45 of them got first class. And me and my colleague, we said that we will do an ITI to how did how they get so much of first class. What happened was that teachers also became apprehensive that if I do not give marks, if I if I check the answers in a very lax manner, and some student does an ITI, so my job is going to be in jeopardy. So let me just give marks, as many marks as possible, that the student even in literature get 90-92%. It doesn't matter to me. The student has earned and honestly, that is not my prerogative. My prerogative is that whether my education institution produce 90% and on the flip side, the other thing is the affluent it's the kind of that engages also in the time of the platform. Okay, so we are
Rijia, your voice is
like
breaking.
commercialization of education that we are yeah. So let me just take
Could
away
you
the
repeat? Could you repeat the last two
phone
lines,
properly
please?
because
Again. Okay.
now, can you hear me now properly?
Yes, yes, I can.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can. Go ahead, Rijia.
Okay. So as I said, yeah, affluent commercialization of education. Here the title of the lecture is what are we trying to do is that we are trying to equate education with that I have paid a certain amount of sum for my education. So my education is equivalent to the money that I have paid. So the more money I pay, the better is my education. In general, we have said, that we cannot equate things like that. Our own, culture or various cultures all over the world, we cannot equate education with money. We cannot equate knowledge with money. Teachers are to be respected. Physicians are to be respected. Marx has actually, in his Communist Manifesto, he said that, with the coming of capitalism, what has happened is that all these hitherto professions which were respected, physicians, teachers, lawyers, etc., they have been reduced to just workers, and we pay something to them, and in return we pay money, and in return we get a service. It has been reduced to a service, like you pay for something. You go to a shop and you pay for a bar of soap or something, packet of biscuit, and you get back, you get it, and if it is not up to your mark, you can ask for a refund. Similarly, it has happened with various things. The things that we earlier associated with amount of respect. Education is one, that is teachers, then doctors, then lawyers, and Marx also include priests. Of course, that I found very surprising, but he also included priests and other people associated with the church or with religion, and he said that everything has kind of being deteriorated, and they have been reduced to a level of just give and take kind of thing. I'm paying. Well, why does this person ask for refund? Because he feels that I have paid money for it, and that is why I should get that. Whereas at the end, it is proved that his education is not all a waste. One thing, and I'll tell a small story. Probably many of you have seen this video. It was there on YouTube and Facebook and everything. There was this teacher, kindergarten teacher, who teaches students, and she said that one plus one is equal to two, and this son of a local political leader or something, and he says that no, 1 plus 1 is equal to 11. And when the teacher starts correcting him, first the principal says that no, because he's the son of a local political leader, you have to accept. If he says 1 plus 1 is 11, you have to accept this is 1 is 11. And then the matter escalates. The local political leader intervenes, people start intervening. Nobody listens to what the teacher is saying, and at the end of it, it becomes a national issue. And she's fired from her work, and she comes back. The kind of bringing the TV crew and everything, and she's to be fired on national television. And then the principal says that okay, you have committed a grave mistake by saying that 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, or 1 plus 1 is actually 11. So, but then we are very lenient. We are going to give you the, salary for the past, 2 months that you have worked here. So, $2,000 for this month and $2,000 for the past month. So, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. And then the teacher says, no, 2 plus 2 is equal to 22. So, similar kind of a thing that the maths teacher did here. So, there are various things where we were reading the play, and as people were going through the play, there are various ideas. We can go on, this idea of commercialization of education, we can go on with that. Other people might have other ideas also.
All right, all right. I do think this is a vaster topic because the education system itself is will be different once the onset of this COVID, and it's no longer the same pre-COVID as what it will be after. So probably that will give many more ideas to writers to write about these kind of plays.